seen Crash Cassidy this enraged before. He said, oh, look at that. Awesome. Joe breaks coming off and a hip toss by that. Sensational one. Oh my. Great head scissors takedown and a drop kick by Atkins.
And right back to the arm goes David Anthony. Magnus into the ropes, referee in great position there. Lorenzo Hurley, one of our top officials here, doing a great job of keeping this one clean, and certainly neither of these fighters will try to bend the rules as Chris Magnus goes for a vertical suplex, but it's reversed by Anthony. Immediately rolls over into the cover. Nicely done by David Anthony, failing to hook the leg though, and that allowed Chris Magnus to kick out before the count of 3. But David Anthony keeps Chris Magnus in his clutches and continues to work on that arm. That is the strategy, and many have faced David Anthony knowing that and still unable to withstand the attack of the accomplished grappler David Anthony, a gold medalist in judo, currently training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well, and he brings what he learns there to the World Fighting Showcase. Little back and forth now. Up into the fireman's carry. Chris Magnus trying to fight out. He can, and he meets the knee of the Ultimate Athlete into the cover, hooking that outside leg. No, chooses not to. Maybe Chris Magnus repositioning there while he was in the pinning predicament. And I've got to say, we're quite a few minutes into this contest, and Chris Magnus has been as impressive as I've ever seen him inside the squared circle, withstanding the onslaught of the Ultimate Athlete. Now the shoulders are down there, but David Anthony knew exactly where he was, didn't relinquish the arm, and rolls right back into this hold. If David Anthony finds an opening, he will lock in that patented armbar of his. Irish whip into the corner. Chris Magnus gets his feet up, but David Anthony catches him and drops Chris Magnus's back into his knees, right into the cover. Creative way to go for a victory there, but Chris Magnus kicks out, and the look on David Anthony's face says he can't even believe it. Now just dropping the knee on the arm. Maybe a little frustration from the American champion here. Into the cover. Another kick out by Chris Magnus. The crowd in attendance here in Bluefield is certainly enjoying this contest between Magnus and Anthony. As David goes right back to that arm, looking for that opening, looking to get out of this one unscathed, but Chris Magnus is putting up the fight of his life. Cannonball into the corner, all the weight of Chris Magnus crashing into the American champion. Here's an opening. Chris Magnus is fired up. He goes for the cover, but a count of 2, hesitated just enough for the Ultimate Athlete to escape an upset here at the hands of Chris Magnus, but Chris is still fighting. Jumps up, looking for the DDT, but he's planted by David Anthony. Shoulders are down again, failing to hook the leg. Jawbreaker by Magnus. He's not done yet. Looked like maybe he was going for a cutter or a neck breaker. David Anthony drops him right into that arm bar. Nowhere for Chris Magnus to go, and that's it. He taps out. your winner, David Anthony. Chris Magnus put up quite a fight, but the American champion prevails once again. David Anthony victorious today on the program. Dallas Danger outside the dressing room with the WFS American champion, the ultimate athlete, David Anthony. Another big victory, another defense of the title for you here today, Mr. Anthony.
Well, yes, Dallas, I am the American champion, and I told everybody that I would take on any challenger here in World Fighting Showcase. So you keep the challengers coming, and I'll keep knocking them down.
Well, you know, I got to say, the challenger you had today, Chris Magnus, not someone that I think many people expected to get as much of a contest out of you as he did. Speak a little bit to the challenge of Chris Magnus and how you finally got the victory.
So studying on Chris Magnus, I'll be honest, I was kind of lazy and I didn't take him as seriously as I should. And it surprised me. He came to play and I had my work cut out for me tonight, and I'm very surprised and impressed with him.
Well, it was the armbar once again. Still the American champion, the ultimate athlete, David Anthony. Hello, fight fans. Dallas Danger here. And if you're like me, you love all the action here on WFS Showdown every single week. But you don't want to wait until Saturday to see all the stars of the World Fighting Showcase. Well, I have great news for you. If you go to WFSinsider.com and become a subscriber today, you'll be the first to see Showdown each and every week. WFSinsider.com. For less than $5 a month, you can become an insider.
This is not just a podcast. House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New. This is a tribe of devoted superfans that have crashed through the barricades, torn down barriers, and broken through the fourth wall. This is a creative think tank full of people who have given way too much of their lives to professional wrestling to not be getting a paycheck. This is a secret society of elite fans from all over the globe. And guess what? It isn't a secret anymore.
House of Kayfabe, featuring Jim Cornette's lawyer, Stephen P. New, is available now on all major podcast platforms. Just click subscribe to join the Kayfabe stream and get access to unbelievable interviews, in-depth discussions, hilarious segments, and exclusive content. This is the fan-driven podcast you have been looking for.
House of Kayfabe with Brian Resner and Stephen New.
Well, folks, I normally wait and reserve comment for when the bell sounds, but Murphy Costigan certainly in no hurry to square off with Kyle Maggard, his challenger here today on the program. And finally, the bell sounds, and Hazard, Kentucky's Kyle Maggard with a big opportunity here against Murphy Costigan for the television title, and Murphy doing what he does best, jaw-jacking with Kyle Maggard, not wanting to get into a shoving match, and that's exactly why. Kyle shoves him to the mat. Murphy retreats to the corner, the bottom rope there. Referee doing a good job of keeping this one from getting out of hand from the word go. Kyle Maggard was impressive in his WFS debut, and now a chance to become a champion here in the World Fighting Showcase. Collar and elbow tie-up. Kyle backing Costigan into the corner. Clean break there by Kyle Maggard. Champion continuing to do everything he can to prevent getting into hand-to-hand combat with the larger, stronger, I would estimate, Kyle Maggard. Another lockup here. This time Costigan backs Maggard into the corner. No clean break this time, but Maggard blocks the right hand of Costigan and unloads on the champion. Corner to corner, pillar to post. What a clothesline by the challenger. And the champion goes down and immediately rolls out of the ring. Sometimes it is indeed better to be lucky than good, and Costigan was right there, able to get out of harm's way before Maggard could capitalize. Bo James at ringside giving the advice to Costigan. Champion breaks the count and goes right back to the outside. Referee he's had enough. Lorenzo Hurley, our official for this one, wanting to get Costigan back in the ring, wanting to see a fair one-on-one contest for the television championship like all of us here in the World Fighting Showcase, and I'm sure all of you watching at home as well want to see. Costigan finally in the ring, and he's just wants no part of Kyle Maggard here. And I got to say, I'm impressed with Kyle's composure and patience here. This is quite an opportunity for Maggard. Boot to the gut by the champion. Now a right hand lands flush, but Maggard fires back with one of his own, and once again, the champion Costigan to the outside. Costigan on the outside, reeling from that punch from his challenger, Kyle Maggard. Bo James there with the words of wisdom, if you will. It's taking everything the official Lorenzo Hurley has to keep Kyle Maggard back while Costigan steps back through the ropes once again. Tension's running high here in our championship affair. Side headlock applied now by Costigan. Referee in perfect position there, checking in to make sure that's a legal hold. And now Maggard trying to fight his way out. Backs Costigan to the ropes. Shoulder tackle, and Kyle Maggard not budging. 301 pounds of big Kentuckian. Costigan goes down. The crowd loves it, but he's rolled out to the floor once again. Referee begins to count, and I think Kyle Maggard is starting to show some frustration here. Every time he gains some momentum, gets a clear advantage, Costigan gets out of dodge, so to speak, and now Kyle goes after Murphy Costigan. Costigan to the eyes. And that's the opening that the television champion was looking for. Now he's ready to fight. Now that he's blinded Kyle Maggard with that gouge of the eyes, he's right in the challenger's face. Reversal by Kyle into the corner, but he eats the boot of Costigan, and Costigan takes out the knee with the chop block. Now Murphy Costigan going to work on that left knee of Kyle Maggard. Ruthless attack here by the Scottish sensation, the television champion. And he goes to the eyes again. And he's lowering the knee pad of Kyle Maggard. That little bit of protection there on the left knee is gone as Costigan, unrelenting in his assault. Bo James on the outside urging his charge Costigan to break the leg. Now a cover, but Maggard out at one. That's one thing, but whether Kyle can get back to his feet here is another question entirely. Costigan has focused, honed in on that knee. Another cover, this time a count of two. Maggard more throwing Costigan off than kicking out that go-round. Kyle doing everything he can, trying to fight back to his feet, but Costigan is right there. Knee bar twisting the ankle. Just punishing the left leg of Kyle Maggard, who grabs the bottom rope. That's going to break the hold, but Costigan using every bit of the referee's count. Now the television champion is just choking Kyle Maggard. Insult to injury, if you will. Using that middle rope, continuing to choke the life out of Kyle Maggard. Kyle can't get to his feet, and now he's going to have trouble breathing as well. Into the cover, another kick out by Kyle Maggard, but you have to wonder at this point how much the challenger has left in the tank. Fighting from his knees. Now he's back to his feet, finally. Into the corner. Costigan once again goes to the leg. Maggard in a lot of pain here. Maggard is down once again. Costigan continues to stick to that strategy. Once again, torquing that knee. Maggard's shoulders went down briefly there. Referee in good position, and that time a 2 count. Maggard is feeling the effects of Murphy Costigan. Kyle gets to that bottom rope again, and Costigan will have to relinquish the hold, but The damage may have already been done here. Kyle gets to his feet and unloads a right hand, blocks another of Costigan's. But once again, Murphy Costigan goes to the eyes. Unfair advantage. Blatantly cheating right in front of the referee. Certainly don't want to see a television championship matchup end in a disqualification, but at some point the referee has got to get control of this, and now Kyle is reaching, grabbing at the hair and the face of Costigan, doing everything he can to try and get out of this hold. The challenger Maggard writhing in pain as he unloads a right hand and now a second. But Costigan has it cinched in. Kyle to the bottom rope, referee counting. And that will once again break the hold of Murphy Costigan, the television champion. What a focused attack here, but a cradle by Kyle Maggard, and he very nearly won the television title there. But Costigan up and clotheslines Maggard and takes him back down. Kyle is on spaghetti legs here. Costigan with the cover. But Kyle Maggard is not ready to give up the fight. He understands what this means. He understands that this opportunity doesn't come that easy, and he kicks out again as Costigan is very frustrated. He has given Kyle Maggard all he can handle and then some, but Kyle is still not ready to give it up here. In the corner now, Costigan goes to the throat of Kyle Maggard. Bo James is right there, and he's going to get involved too as the referee is distracted with Costigan. Kyle Maggard is an impressive fighter, but 2-on-1 when you've been choked and you've had your eyes gouged and your knee attacked like Kyle Maggard has, it's too much for any man. Ear slap. What a creative way for Kyle Maggard to fight back here. He gets out of the hold. Can he get to his feet? Can he capitalize? Back up to a vertical base. Blocks the right hand. Now a second. He has got Murphy's number when they're face to face. Atomic drop, but Kyle did some damage to his own knee there. Neck breaker, but Kyle unable to keep his balance and get every bit of that one. Off the ropes now. Costigan ducks under a clothesline, ducks under a second. Spine buster by Kyle Maggard. He's right there for the cover and a near fall. Murphy Costigan out at 2, and Kyle knew that was the first real opportunity he's had to pick up a victory and leave here with the television championship. The great fans here in Bluefield, West Virginia, certainly behind Kyle Maggard and his effort to end the reign of Murphy Costigan, who is unloading. Now Kyle Maggard going for that inverted DDT. Bo James up on the apron. Referee right there as Costigan gets to the ropes. Costigan goes to the throat of Kyle Maggard now. Back in control, but Kyle still on his feet in the corner. DDT by the champion. That might be All she wrote, hooks the leg. Referee is down, and another kick out by Kyle Maggard. What an impressive show of valor from the challenger. Kyle Maggard has fought through the 2-on-1. He's fought through all the cheating, all the bending of the rules. And now Costigan sitting in the corner, not sure what to do next, not sure how he's going to put away Kyle Maggard. Bo James shouting, put him away. Maggard out of the way. This time he's got it, but Bo James again on the apron, and he's going to distract the referee. He's got the attention of Kyle Maggard now, too. And I'm not sure from my vantage point, but I think Bo James may have just tossed something over to Costigan, who's laying on the mat. No one paying attention. Have to speculate that whatever it was went in the knee pad, and there it is. Costigan hitting Kyle Maggard with that knee pad, and there's 3.
Here's your winner and still WFS Television Champion, Murphy Costigan.
Another victory for Costigan. He retains the title, but you can't take anything away from Kyle Maggard. He withstood so much of the despicable tactics of Costigan and James. And as you can see, the crowd is frustrated. They're trying to tell the referee what happened. But Murphy Costigan is still the WFS Television Champion. Dallas Danger back here outside of the dressing room. Kyle Maggard wanting to speak to the fans watching at home, but he's not in a good way, as you can tell, after that knee strike from Murphy Costigan.
Dally, just give me a second. I'm trying to come to my.
You take all the time you need.
I'm trying to come to my senses, man. You know, I've heard talk about this Murphy guy. I've heard talk about him, and he's been the television champion. And everybody told me going out there I need to watch out for him. And mainly because his mentor, his advisor in his corner is Bo James, one of the dirtiest people in all of the sport of professional wrestling. Willing to do anything to win. And that's what happened. There's no doubt in my mind that knee that he hit me with out of nowhere was another loaded up knee everybody had warned me about. But me being Kyle Maggard, I went in thinking that no matter what, that I was going to get the job done, and I came up short tonight. I did. No doubt about it. I came up short. I had kind of a scouting report on this guy. He was able to slide one over on me. But Murphy, let me tell you this. You've got that television title around your waist. And I can promise you it won't be around your waist for long, because I hear everybody's coming for you, and now I'm coming for you. And whether I'm coming for you and I take that title, it don't matter, because I'm coming for your butt, because it's just got personal.
Well, based on the circumstances, I don't think that's the last time Kyle Maggard will get an opportunity at championship gold here in WFS.